I felt the need to make this video, though I don't have to. I want to. I just want to explain a little about what's going on. Tommy Talerico, this little twerp, at one point, 4 years ago, 3 years ago, 2 years ago, this guy created a fucking hate side and, of course, a pro side. But his concentration wasn't on the middle side. It was to clash the two sides together. Because I think Tommy Talerico actually enjoyed sitting back, watching the two sides go at each other. Because I know he did. Because he referred to it at the Uxbridge event when I was there. Telling Saggy, show them this, show them that, when Saggy was kind of playing both sides. So Tommy Talerico, who's in hiding right now, I think he actually sees all this still. I think he still watches this shit. So I watched Slope's video. I got to watch it again because, I saw the whole thing, but, missed a little here and there, but from what I saw, I mean, it's a great video. I mean, I know it's different than Pat's video, totally different approach. This was truly a documentary. Was it premature to put it out now because it's officially not dead yet? I don't think so. I think it was a good time to do it because this video that Slope put out actually could put the nail in the coffin, or could it fuel someone to, because it's gonna get viewed a lot. So could it fuel someone to help the amico? I don't think so. I think it's pretty much gonna put the nail in the coffin. But getting back to what I wanted to say, there was a time when the Antiside, we supported each other. Darius did his own thing, but he supported Tony's channel when back in the day when Hammock Man and Ramblin' Man and D-Reed back then, I remember being more of like a viewer, a commenter for the Antiside. There was others like that. But the majority of the Antiside got along with each other because it was more or less, if you became a member, and I don't want to say member, but if you became part of the Antiside, it's because you agreed with what they were saying and believing, that this was going to be a scam, that the games really weren't that good. And that's why after I played it and I was following both sides, that's why I went towards the Antiside, because in my mind, I went with who was more onto it, like more onto what it really was. So, coming down, I'm doing a video. Family members are showing up for the Super Bowl. I don't really care for it, but they're going to be watching it. I don't have nothing riding on the game, so I don't really care when I don't have anything riding on it. But anyway, so now getting back to the Okay, so there was a time when we were all on board with each other, because we knew the truth. We knew who was speaking the truth. We knew who, and then you had your big YouTubers from the anti side, like Pat and Ian. But our little community of the anti side was pretty much probably our leader was probably Tony, because he's the one who interviewed Tommy, and he was the one that was different than all the other big YouTubers, um, that interviewed him. Um, and and he wasn't, and he went hard on Tommy. So Tommy, of course, didn't like Tony for a while. I mean, he didn't like him after that. So so we were clinging on to Tony, and he was pretty much the original. Um, until now, recently, it's been No Swear Gamer and Generation X Gamer. They're the ones representing the anti side more in a way, kind of like not necessarily on the anti side, but kind of the ones who have the information and the numbers, and Tony at one time was the leader for that, but then the anti side started turning against them when there was nothing to talk about. So now what happens is Slavim comes on the scene, and there was people comparing him to Darius, and there was one guy there that even said that Slavim would take over and be and beat out Darius. So I don't know if that caused anything, but no, not really, because for a little while Darius was a supporter of Slavim. He was in his messages and he was watching, and of course the trucks and army, they were on board with Slavim too at one time. Um, so now with the amico not putting anything out and not canceling this thing, not filing for bankruptcy, still kicking the can. Here we are, what, almost 4 or 5 years later. Tommy set up put all these players in place, and I think the big winner is Tommy Talerico in the end. He's the one getting the last laugh at everybody, because look at what's going on. Now you got Slavim making videos on, mostly on the trucks and army, I guess they say it's called, but the trucks and army is totally, now it's getting personal. See, this is what the anti side started doing. They started getting personal with each other, while the pro side is still cucking along with each other. They changed things up to kind of get haters out of their chats, and DJC refused to change the name of the channel because it's officially not dead yet. So, but they're getting along. The pro side's getting along, and they're probably getting the biggest laugh, because they don't even probably know about this, because I don't think many of the pro side watch the anti side, where the anti side does watch the pro side. That's what I think is one of the big differences, is that the pro side people, the majority of the big players from the pro side, they don't watch the anti side. Somebody might mention it to them, but I don't think they really care or concerned with what the anti side's doing. But if they found out that the anti side is at each other's necks, that would probably just give them like more incentive to keep, to stay away and stuff. But I'm not saying this in, like, I came on the scene and I was supported by certain people, and and a lot of it, whatever they personally like, what kind of music they like, or their personal lives, I'm not concerned with. If it's someone that, you know, I mean, that's why all this time I try, even though I do, like I started watching YouTube, and keeping a subscription so I could keep an eye on stuff, videos. But that's why I've always been like the type that unsubs, and because of what ends up happening, people talking about each other, and they're talking about their personal stuff that I don't need to know and I don't want to know, because then that takes the fun away from them on YouTube. I just want to know who they are on YouTube and what they talk about, and what they enjoy, seeing, and I don't need to know the personal stuff. I mean, yeah, it's funny for a little while. I mean, DT's done it in the past, obviously. Um, it's all fun and games until it gets to be too much, and then it's like, and now we just stopped. Now there's nobody really going hard on the pro side. Now some people get soft on them. Some people say maybe we should leave them alone, let them like what they like. But there's still the fact that this was a scam and people got scammed, and we were onto it. And that's why we should keep riding the pro side and not getting soft with them, is my thing. But now the anti side is just all hating each other, like, because there's nothing to talk about on the pro side, because they're pretty much doing their shit in private almost, like, now. And ever since DJC disclaimed himself, Gen X is laid off them now. So now all we're getting is some information from No Swear Gamer and Gen X Gamer, but there's no nobody out there now riding hard on the pro side for what's going on and what they did and for what's not happening. So now it's just become the anti side hating each other and talking personal about each other, which is not what this was supposed to be about. And that's why I say Tommy Talerico is the winner in all this. Not only did he scam and run with the money, but he also left all this behind, all these players that at one time were on the same page on the anti side, now going at it. And then another thing that dawns on me is like I do other things. Like I play pinball at a club. I play bocce at a club. And you got, your players there, right? Sometimes I'll ask a question to someone else, like, is there another place that has characters like this? The characters from pinball, the characters from bocce. I used to play softball, so the characters from softball. And I always used to say, in another state somewhere, or in another community somewhere, is there a character like this? Is there a character like this? And I'm starting to think about the same way about mostly both sides, but like I'm saying about the anti side, like Albert, he's down in Florida making videos, and is there another community on YouTube that's got an Albert walking around, and then on the pro side they got Rab walking around, or a me, or a Sladum, or like there's other community on YouTube for other things have the characters we have. I mean, I'm gonna do another video, kind of like setting in stone pretty much like all the amico characters, and I think there's like hundreds of YouTube characters just from the anti-side. Never mind the pro side. I mean, just from the anti-side, there's about there's at least 200 players in place. You know that do YouTube channels. I mean, that do YouTube videos. Then you got your ones in the comments. But but wow. I mean, like I've mentioned before, a lot of people praise on how the amico brought us together. We would never know each other if it wasn't for the amico. Even though there's some negative to it, because though we've met a lot of people through it, we've also conflicted with many that we enjoyed before. So it's give and take, I guess. There is there is characters out there that I got along with before the amico, and now I don't get along with them, or I don't like them anymore, and don't enjoy their channel anymore, and don't watch their channel anymore. So it doesn't. So you can't always say the amico was a good thing, that it brought us together. It's what we make of it, and what we made of it, and what we're gonna make of it. Um, when the dust settles, I know there's certain people that will stick together even after the amico, and then there's plenty and many that will go separate ways with people that they met through the amico, which is normal. But I just don't. I don't think it's all good. What we got out of the amico. Some of it is okay. Like I said, many will go their own way. Many will stick together. Some will stick together. Some that hate each other will continue to hate each other. Some may get over that and reconnect. I know the ones I won't reconnect with. I know the ones that I'll, stick by, um, and maybe we'll find something else to revolve around when the amico's done and gone. Right now, the anti-side just isn't revolving around anything. They're just at each other's throats. But anyway, I got to get going. But I don't know. I just did this quick video. Don't take anything personal. I don't have any. I That's my niece. So yeah, I got to get going. But I'll talk to y'all later.